Hello guys, I'm Piyush and here I'm showing you like how I passed HSK4 in my very first attempt with a score of 243. So basically what I'm going to tell you, like I have divided my planning into two phases. Like one, like before you actually start solving questions for HSK4, like specific questions for the HSK4. So before you start solving the questions, like what you can do. So the first thing you have to do is like do HSK like this one, like do HSK3 vocabulary before you do anything. Like what do you have to do? You don't have to master vocabulary for HSK3, but you should know the translation and the basic meaning. So what you can do, you can use many mobile apps, um, especially like flashcard apps where you can practice your HSK3 vocabulary, and it will definitely help you to revise or review your HSK3 vocabulary faster and very quickly. After that, the most important, I think the second step is important. Like you got to watch HSK 3 and 4 lectures from Chinese Zero to Hero. You got to buy subscription. Maybe it will cost you around 500 RMB, but these guys are really awesome. They will clear all of your doubts, and while listening their lecture you're actually practicing your listening ability. Also, this is a great tool to practice for your grammar, and it's really great, really helpful for you. The third thing you have to do, like after listening HSK 3 and 4 lectures, now you are at the better position. Now you got to play with the vocabulary, so you have to make vocabulary according to your own weak points and strong points. Like you can make vocabulary from like all the letters starting from A, or you can use the same character vocabulary, or you can use like unique character vocabulary, or you can make vocabulary like confusing vocabulary. So in that way, you are at the position that you have to play with the vocabulary and you have to master the vocabulary. What do I mean by master the vocabulary is like you don't just know the translation of the words, but you should feel that word, like what does it mean. So I mean, you should master the vocabulary that you don't need to translate it. You just have to feel that word, and you know, okay, what does it mean. That's it. So there is one book to do these things, is like I'm showing you on your screen. This book is really helpful to to practice your vocabulary. And also, this book is going to help you to solve reading and writing section. Like while doing this book, you are actually practicing your reading and writing section, which will cover your 200 score. And yes, this book is really helpful. Now you practice, after practicing, after you finish this book, now you have practiced your writing and reading skills. Now it's time for your listening skills. So for the listening skill, before starting solving your HSK4 questions, for the listening you should listen standard HSK4 text. And for that, I'm going to show you this YouTube channel. This is the HSK4. This is the Vital Chinese. The name of this channel is Vital Chinese, and they have constructed beautiful course for the HSK4 text. They have given like audio transcript and the good translation. I would say it is a really good translation. So while listening these things, what you have to do, like, okay, I listen this and this phrase is new for me. Like even if you mastered vocabulary, but this phrase is something new for me, you can write it down. Okay, I also have to practice these phrases because these phrases are going to replicate in your real exam. So you have to do this. Now you are ready to solve HSK4 questions. So here is our step B. Like, okay, you are ready to solve your question paper. Now what to do? Like maybe you can directly solve the workbook, or you can solve the question paper. What I did was I solved question paper to check like which section of the question paper is weaker for me. So I find out like in the writing, like making sentences was difficult for me. In the reading, rearrange sentence was difficult for me. So I specifically I practiced only those sections from the workbook again. So that helped me. Maybe that was that was like confidence boosting for me, so it was good. I also made 1200 sentences, like one sentence for each HSK4 word. So so it was useful not only for like practicing my vocabulary, but also I can read sentence, and it was like giving me reading practice, it was giving me writing practice, so it was really nice, and it helped me to solve the last question of the writing part. That means, like you already know the question paper, like okay, if you practice these 1200 sentences, that means you are you are securing your 33 marks in the HSK4 exam. So here is my score. I scored 243, and after my exam, I I note down some of my observation for the HSK4 exam. Now here I'm going to show you. For the listening section, I mentioned that it went according to my expectations. 4 to 5 answers I guessed, like I don't know, I just guessed it, and my expected score was 880 plus, like 80 to 85 I was expecting, and my actual score was 81. For the reading, I thought it is really relatively tough, because maybe of exam pressure or whatever. I find it really tough, and it was like, okay man, in just 1 minute I have to cover one question like that, and it was really building up pressure on me. But I was expecting 80 to 90, and I scored 87 in the reading section. My exam writing part was relatively very easy, but as you know, writing part is very unsure. Like if you are lucky enough, you can get 90, 95, or even 100, but if you are unlucky, maybe you will not score even 40 or 50. But I was expecting around 73 to 80, and my actual score was 75. So I was expecting 233 to 255, but actually I scored 243. So I think my analysis after exam was also correct, and I scored like I scored what I was expecting. So you can follow this strategy, and I think you can surely clear your HSK4 in very first attempt. Like okay, now you have the strategy, you just need to practice it. Just remember, the consistency is very important. Like okay, every day you have to practice it. If even if you miss one day, it will give you so much trouble. So okay, if you have the exam, then just start practicing regularly. Maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks are enough to practice for your HSK4. So that's all from my side. Thank you.